welcome to another episode of Galaxy Gardens. My name is Chrissy, and today we have two items on the docket. Number one, we need to be making some oregano oil. It's something that's very easy to make and great to have in your house, especially over the winter. And number two, we need to go out and harvest all of our root crops. Our nights are starting to get below the 50s. We're down to like 27 the other night, and I'm getting a little tired of covering them up. So I decided let's just pull them out. So let me wait for this water to boil, and we'll meet you right back here. So our water is just about boiling, so this is a good time to get your jar prepared. What we're going to be doing is taking our oregano, which is just harvested from outside, put some mulch down, and our oregano, which overwintered last year, is getting ready to overwinter now. Thought it'd be a good time to bring some in, and I have quite a bit. So I already saved a bunch for cooking. And I think this might be a little bit more than we need for this jar, but I've always wanted to make oregano oil. So you're gonna take your oregano, put it in your jar, and this is an oil infusion. And oregano, don't quote me on this, I am not a doctor. But from what I understand, it's anti-inflammatory and antimicrobial, and it's good to have for flu season. So that's what we're gonna do. So we're just gonna fill up our jar. This is gonna compress down. And I actually think this will all fit. And then we're gonna add olive oil. That's my oil of choice for this. And gonna have a good flavor and scent. We love oregano. And it's actually a perfect amount for this jar. Then you're gonna take your olive oil. We're just gonna cover it. All right, just like that. We don't have any like brand loyalty to our olive oil, so we're just have what we have. And you could put a lid on this and shake it around. I'm just gonna stir it up with a spoon. Get everything in there. All right, looks good. Come on, there we go. All right, now we have our jar full of oregano and oil. And so as soon as this gets to a boil, I'm gonna cut the heat, and we're actually gonna place this in, and the water will go up to about the shoulder area here. And we're gonna let it sit in the hot water for about 15 minutes. I'm not gonna cover it, but when it's done, then we'll put a lid on and shake it up. And we're just gonna leave it by our windowsill for 2 weeks so it can infuse. From there, we will filter everything out, and then we'll have our shelf-stable oregano oil. And you're gonna wanna use this within 6 months to a year, because it is an oil, and you are introducing leaf matter. We don't know what's on that. We just wanna reduce the chances that it might go rancid. And trust me, you'll know when oil's rancid. But this makes me very happy that we have a lot of good oregano on hand. So let me get this going. I'll show you what it looks like in the process, and then we're gonna go and head outside and do our radishes. Our water's come to a boil, as you can see, so we're gonna cut the heat. All right, We're gonna take our jar and we're gonna put it in. If you're in a colder home, run some hot water on the outside of your jar so you don't get any thermal shock. There you go. And that's it. So lid off. We're gonna leave our jar in here for 15 minutes. So I'm actually gonna get a timer going. There you go. And when it's done, we'll come back and pull it out and shake it up. And you can already see this part of the lid was a little bit cooler, but that's okay. But you want the water to be up around the neck so it can warm up the oil. Rather than putting it in a crock pot, it can get too hot. You're not trying to fry the herb like you would maybe for a sauce you might make. We just want to warm it up to help extract some of those good oils. So let's leave this here. We'll come back when it's done and let's go outside. While we're waiting, I thought I'd show you our tobacco, which we're in the process of curing and drying. So all of these leaves were green, or excuse me, rather a pale green or yellow upon harvest. And so what I did was I laid out everything individually in one layer and sandwiched them in some towels to get them flat. Now at this stage, you can see they're all pretty stuck together. It's pretty easy. You pretty much just take it, unstick them, and reshuffle them to get some good airflow. And in no time they'll be dry. I mean, this one is already getting decently dry. Tobacco is so much work, trust me. Yeah, that one's pretty sticky. But they get less sticky as they dry. If you think they're getting dry too fast, you can always spritz them with water. But these are drying pretty well. They'll get all brown. We had very good luck with this last year. So a little later on, we'll come back and shuffle these and we'll continue the process as long as we need to. Usually, when I say usually, it should take anywhere from several weeks to a month. So if you're ever gonna get into growing tobacco, just know there's a lot of different ways to do it. But I'll just cover that up for now. Do not forget to do it if you do it this way because it will get moldy. And then we just have some horseshoes we found on our property. I also found this lovely railroad lock on our property as well, so we're gonna hang those up. But I think the oregano oil should just be about done now. Okay, let's get a towel up here, protect our counter, and our oregano oil is ready to come out. Perfect. Deal with this later. This looks fantastic, so let's go ahead and put a lid on it. I'd say that is a fine spot for it to stay for the next couple of weeks. Be careful when you take these out, they're quite warm, but they'll cool down in there. And there's no condensation on the inside, but if you're worried about that, you can give it a quick wipe before you set it. As you leave it for the next couple of weeks, you can give it a shake like once a day and just go from there. And then once you have it filtered after 2 weeks, you put it in a cool, dark area such as a cabinet, and that's just where you'll leave it until you need it. Now it's time for the fun part. Look at the radishes. I want to show you something first. Check that out. We have like a real orchard area now. We took yesterday to put our mulch out. It looks awesome. Hello, girls. I gotta grab your eggs. Goodness, hello. I'm gonna have so many goodies for you. Yeah. You having a good day? Anyways, let's go get the radishes and we'll come back and give them a treat. Wow. I'm really excited to go in here. Hold on. I've been showing you the radishes in the last few videos, so it's time to pull them out. And the best easy is you could pull anything out. You're just gonna grab it, give it a tug, and there you go. I don't remember what I planted. I did plant some beets and I think a turnip. I think this might be the turnip, but I want to save the greens. Our greens didn't do too good this year, so a good chunk of these actually just gonna chop up and blanch, so I can put them in the freezer and add them to stuff. But let me get this a little bit more in focus. Oh, there you go. Look at that. That looks pretty good. It does have a worm on it. Yeah, there. That's a good start. So let's start pulling more of these out, and hopefully they all look at least as good as this. So beets and radishes, they like cool weather, but they don't necessarily like it when it's frosty. So when you're gonna harvest them, you're gonna get right down here where the leaves meet it. Just pull it out. This is definitely a turnip. Look at that thing. It looks awesome. I'm really excited for this. And I saw a recipe. I'm quite pleased. Oh my god. I saw a recipe for something called Ponytail-kimchi that you do with a certain type of radish. So I might do those once we start pulling the daikons. But that's awesome. The rest of these should keep okay in our fridge for a while. And everything else, I mean, we can roast them and keep them in the freezer. You can pickle them. There's a lot you can do. But these, I mean, look at this. Let me pull this out. Look at those. That's awesome. I'm really excited for these. I really need to go back into my records and figure out what some of these ones I planted are, because I genuinely don't remember what this is, but I know that's exactly how it's supposed to grow. Right, you see these other ones? These look perfect. I'm really excited to have those. Here's an example of why you always want to plant more than you're expecting to harvest. So I think this is a China rose. These actually got really huge for us last year. But look, this one did okay, it's small. This one has flower. This one also went to flower because it's putting a stalk out. So you never know what's gonna happen. Always plant more than you think you're gonna want or need. We have a good amount here. We're only about halfway through. I really like the China rose radishes. Literally last year, one of these was like this big and like this thick. They got really, really big. We're not having quite as warm a fall as we did last year. So I'm just gonna pull them and we'll see what we get. And we'll do this again next year. But this is a very tasty radish. Cannot recommend it enough. Are you ready for this? Check this out. Chock full. This is just one bed. We still have some room in there. This is awesome. Now I removed all or most of the damaged greens. We're gonna give those to the chickens. There's a giant pile, I'll show you in a second. But this is very heavy. This is like, I don't know, 10, 15 pounds. This is awesome. Very happy. Now we have to go get the other bed and add it to this, and hopefully everything fits. All right, let's do some stages. This is our pile. Here's my hand for reference. So let me go bring this over to the ladies, and then we'll work on bed number 2. Okay, I dropped a little bit, but here's a big pile. And let's see the chickens. They're really gonna like this. Okie dokie. Here we go. Oh, Meatball. Meatball's molting. She's fine. She was recovered just fine. And then literally like 4 days ago she started molting. So she already has a bunch of pin feathers coming in. But I hope you girls enjoy the radish leaves. There's some more for you. Bertha, I have confirmed is laying. Periwinkle, who's right there, is laying these like bright mint green. It's like a bluish mint green colored eggs. So I'm sure Meatball will start laying when she's done molting. And then I don't know yet who's laying the kind of brassy green eggs or the like solid green eggs with some slight brown speckling on them. We'll find out. And then one of them's laying like a darker brown egg. Not super dark. We only got one of those like right when they came here. We haven't had one since. Bertha! Jerk. Yeah, she just pecked at somebody so she could get that leaf, and then she just came back here. I know, she's a jerk. But she's a survivor. Alright, well let's see what we got for eggs in here. Ooh, 3 eggs today. Let's see, those are feathers. This is definitely a Bertha egg because I saw her lay it earlier. And then I don't know what we got here. What do we got? Okay, so we have that generic green egg with some soft brown speckling, and then that mint green egg. So I don't know who's laying this. I think that might be Fazul, who's over there. That's pretty good. Big old egg from Bertha. Good job, Big Bertha. Enjoy our radish leaves. Here's the eggs in better lighting so you could see this. It's like almost like a mint gum color. And this one, if I were to wash the bloom off, those speckles are brown. And this one in the front, it's a nice kind of creamy color. That's Bertha. That's a Wyandotte egg. But very, very pretty eggs. This bed definitely got a little bit more damage, but we have some carrots in here. And I could probably let the carrots go, but we're gonna pull them. I don't remember what we planted, but we'll have some varied sizes. So let me get all these carrots out, and we'll get our other radishes. These are smaller carrot varieties. Well, of course, you can get some skinny ones. So let me see what I can do with those. And then the rest of these radishes should be good to pull. So just a handful of carrots so far. These definitely could have gone longer. There's a decent sized one in there, but we have all these carrot greens now, so we can make some carrot green pesto. And you know, if you're doing this at home yourself and you're pulling a couple and they're not big enough, just leave them in there. These probably could go for another month. I just did not want to deal with the tops dying back. That's why I'm pulling them back, but you could absolutely put a cloth on them and take it off every day to keep these going. I don't trust the weather at this point, so I just pulled them. Other years we've definitely let them go till like Thanksgiving. They've been fine. Last year we had some good sized carrots, but again, I want the greens. That's my focus. And we can also cook these up and freeze them. Nothing wrong with that. But let's go pull the rest of these radishes out. I think I'll give all of these greens because they've all been eaten by worms. Not the roots, the leaves. I saw some army worms and cabbage loopers as I was moving the leaves. We'll just give those to the girls. That's fine. I'm happy with the bunch of leaves we got from the previous bed. Our sorghum has also looked better. It doesn't like the cold, so I don't have time today, but tomorrow I might go grab it. And then here, our Chinese pink celery is actually growing back, which is pretty funny. And it's cooler, so it's growing lower, but I just thought I'd share that update with you. You know what? I'm losing sunlight. Today is daylight savings time, so we just put our clocks back an hour. So I'm gonna grab a bowl because I don't have time to be fighting with my basket to make room for everything. Let's go take these radishes out, show you what we end up with at the end. All right, we're gonna do this the fast way. Just rip the leaves off and put them in a bowl. I know if you remember our daikon harvest last year, these are definitely much shorter, but that's okay. I got no complaints. Ooh, look at that one. That's beautiful. You know what? I don't know if I planted the regular daikons or if these are the cheong radishes. They have a little bit of a green blushing on the shoulder, which the cheong have. I did not write down what I planted where. Yeah, maybe I didn't plant daikons. Maybe I only planted the cheong. I don't know, let me pull the rest of them out. I might have to rethink doing the Ponytail-kimchi, but honestly, this is the perfect size radish to do it. If I had harvested these a week ago, before we had temperatures in the 20s that night, it would have been okay. But you know what I can do? I can take the leaves from the other ones and still split this. And we'll do it that way. That's fine. Or I can just leave the leaves on these ones and just make do. I think very pretty and very tasty. The skin on this is very thin, but it's like sturdy. And the inside is just pure white. It's a very tasty radish. Oh yeah, I take it back. I have plenty. I wasn't planning on making a huge batch anyways, so that's fine. I'm probably not going to record making it because I've never made it before, and I don't really want to share a recipe video on something I don't even know if it's going to turn out okay, but that was awesome. Yeah, I definitely didn't plant any regular daikons. I just planted these cheong radishes. They did great. They grew super fast. Nothing really ate them except for the leaves on some of them, but that's a pretty good haul. I almost forgot. I grabbed some of these bunching onions the other day. I got some in the fridge, but I might as well grab a couple now. I can put in with everything. Oh my goodness. Oh. Massive. Look at that thing. Let's just grab two. If you remember from last week, we harvested the cardoon. We grabbed a couple big ones out, but look at that. They're very, very big and very tasty. So let's go. I have these radishes set up to make the Ponytail-kimchi. I'm gonna put the recipe in the description. If you wanna check it out, it won't show you the full recipe, but these are already set to go. And over here is everything else. So I have some water boiling. We're gonna blanch all the greens. I already chopped them up. And we got about half a gallon or maybe 3/4 of a gallon of everything else. We would have had a full gallon of these, but I've been harvesting them for dinner pretty much over the last couple of weeks. Here's our modest carrot harvest, which I could probably roast those for dinner. And then I have my 2 onions here, which will go with that. So all together, not so bad. And then I also have this, a nice little container of carrot greens. I'll deal with that tomorrow. Not too worried about it. I got in some water. But could you believe from those 2 big containers, that's what you get out of it. So these are gonna be fine. They're a little damp in the bags, and we're just gonna put them right in the fridge like that. We don't need to dry them off. You don't wanna keep them in there like that forever. But I don't know if we'll pickle them. I'll probably roast a lot of these. Maybe roast some for the freezer. I might make some more pickles, but you know, with this Ponytail-kimchi, we should be set for a little while. That's a great harvest, and I love really getting these in because you know, you just put them right in after another crop is done and just leave them until the end of the year. And they're super low maintenance. Super low maintenance. Just really had to water them. I thinned them out like once. Took 10 minutes to do both beds. And now we have a lot more food. So there you have it. Well, thanks for joining me today. Everything's done. We have our greens blanched. And what I'm going to do with those is I think I cut the stalks a little bit too long. Ordinarily, I would take a little 1/2 cup scoop and press them in there like a form, pop about on my hand, and then freeze those into little pucks. I think with these, I'll make their own little portion bags. That way we can just dump the whole block in, and it'll probably fit maybe like between like 1 and 2 cups per bag, so that'll be fine. Our radishes are away in the fridge for now. If I figure out what kind I planted, if I go back in my notes, I'll put it in the description, but I believe one is a cylindra beet. I think that's the purple ones. And then we had a mix of a specific type of turnip, I think, and then radishes. But I did go ahead and make the ponytail radish kimchi. And that's not what it's called, but that's what they call it in this recipe. It looks like it came out pretty good. I haven't had the best of luck fermenting lately, so I'm just gonna put this straight in the fridge and just leave it at that. And I got hot pepper on me. We have a little bit of our seasoning, I guess is what you'd call it. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. I could either put a little extra on there or save it and make something else, but this came out really good. Now all we have to do, I'm just thinking, I'm pretty sure all we have to do is preserve the cardoon, because that's in the fridge from last week. Didn't get a chance to do it this weekend, but it's gonna be fine. Honestly, it's probably good for like 10 days in there, and I'll definitely deal with it this week. But really just harvesting the sorghum and then attending to our berry vines. We have some blackberries that we still have to trellis, and we have to take out some old vines that are not gonna fruit next year, and just some cleanup, so no rush. I was able to find straw for all of our garlic, potato onions, and Egyptian walking onions. So that is something I'm gonna be doing this week, finally putting it on. We just wanted to give them kind of a head start, getting their roots out before the ground got too cold. And then we'll just put the mulch on and it'll be business like usual. We'll take it off probably, I don't know, mid to late March, depending on what the weather does. So things are winding down very smoothly here. I appreciate your company today. This was a fantastic harvest. I love, love, love growing radishes this time of year. They're very low maintenance, and honestly, let's see, it's 8 o'clock right now. I think it started everything at like 3:30, and in between everything, it probably took like, I don't know, 2 to 3 hours worth of breaks. So altogether about like maybe 2.5 hours worth of work. Honestly, this is the thing that was the most time consuming. Honestly, washing everything up, trimming the roots off, and trimming the leaves, it didn't take that long. And then blanching, you're just blanching it for like 30 seconds, then you're good to go. So very, very good crop to have. I hope your fall garden is going well wherever you are, or if you're one of those lucky people where your winter's actually warmer than we are here, I hope your winter garden is getting a good start. We'll see you next time for some more videos, definitely some more cooking videos. If you follow us on Instagram, I'll be showing you how these come out. I'm really excited to try them. It's super spicy. I put a lot of pepper in there. But definitely check out our other social media channels, and we still have some more things coming your way. We're expecting a slow winter this year, which is gonna give me a lot of catch-up time, or I can do some other things online, so really excited for that. But I hope you stay well, and I will see you next time. Bye.